So something, as a lot of people, I mean, one of the biggest things about vaccines right now is what's in the vaccines, you know, the ingredients that are in the vaccines, and that's one of people's biggest concerns. They feel like that there's poisons in them and things like that. So can we just talk a little bit about what is truly in the flu vaccine, and maybe information that me as a general consumer may not have?
Sure.
Or no?
Yeah, absolutely. I know there's lots of controversy surrounding the ingredients and concerns about putting things into your body that you shouldn't be. I think kind of talking about how the vaccine is actually made and the process of formulating the vaccine from the virus kind of helps you understand exactly what is in there, so we can kind of walk through that. So your active ingredient obviously is the viral antigen, what is going to trigger your body's immune response. So in order to grow these viruses, they often will use fertilized chicken eggs as a way to implant them, and it creates a nice environment for the virus to grow in. So you hear a lot about egg allergies and egg proteins associated with flu shots, and that's because when they extract those viral particles out of the egg, there is potentially some, you know, debris and cellular material from the egg that gets transferred along with that. That being said, even people who have egg allergies, it's still recommended to get the flu shot. If you have a very severe anaphylactic allergy to eggs, they will have you do it in a healthcare setting where there's a healthcare provider that can kind of monitor you after receiving the vaccine. But even in people with egg allergies, the rate of an adverse reaction to the flu vaccine is very, very low. So that's where the egg protein comes from, is when they're culturing those viruses or growing them to put into the vaccine. The next step would be to inactivate the vaccine, because otherwise we're just going to have live flu virus that could infect people, and you don't want to get the disease of what you're trying to prevent. So they use formaldehyde in that process to kind of inactivate that virus and make it something that your body's still able to recognize but not able to actually cause the infection. And so yes, you always hear formaldehyde is toxic and scary. It's actually something that's produced naturally in your body as a part of normal metabolism in very small amounts, and is cleared very rapidly and doesn't accumulate in your body. So the amount of formaldehyde that you might find in a flu vaccine is so minute and small. You actually have more of it naturally circulating in your body on any given day than would be contained in that vaccine. So the amounts are very, very small.
Wow, that's really interesting.
and it serves an important purpose because it's inactivating that flu virus. That's how the vaccine is going to work. Another ingredient found in some flu vaccines, but not all of them, that has a lot of controversy surrounding it, is thimerosal, which is used as a preservative to prevent bacterial and fungal growth or contamination. And generally thimerosal is only found in multi-dose vials, which a lot of pharmacies and doctors' offices carry pre-filled syringes or single-dose vials of flu vaccines, so they don't need a preservative because you're only going into the vial with the needle once, and there's a lot less risk of contamination. Multi-dose vials that you're going to be drawing up multiple shots for multiple people from the same vial will contain a preservative to prevent that contamination, and thimerosal is often used as a preservative, which thimerosal is metabolized in your body to ethyl mercury, which is cleared from the body very quickly. So you always hear about methyl mercury, which is another organic compound, but that's the one that causes toxicity and does build up in your body over time. It's often found in contaminated seafood. You hear about the tuna fish containing mercury and stuff. So that is methyl mercury, which is different and doesn't hang around, or the methyl mercury hangs around your body, whereas the ethyl mercury, which is in the thimerosal, does not. So there's a distinction there, but again, it serves a very important purpose in the vaccine, and if you're going to be using those multi-dose vials, you need to have some sort of a preservative in there.
Okay. Well, it's good to know that it's not the same kind of mercury, or converted to the same kind of mercury that you think of, when you're eating too much tuna or whatever it may be that people are worried about.
Yeah, absolutely. Another ingredient you hear people talking about is gelatin. A lot of vaccines will contain that, which is made from an animal product, animal collagen, usually pork. And that just acts as a stabilizer to keep the vaccine stable during transportation and on the shelf or in the fridge before it's given. So that is the purpose of the gelatin. And then some vaccines will also contain antibiotics, again, to prevent any bacterial growth within the vial during production and storage of the vaccine.
Mhm.
These usually are neomycin or gentamicin. They're never going to use like penicillin or something that a lot of people have sensitivities to. But if you do have any allergies to antibiotics, always a good idea to double check with whoever's giving your vaccine to make sure none of those ingredients are contained in the vaccine. But in general, they try to use ones that not many people have sensitivities to.
Okay.
So